Hi guys, it is Aoife from FradWeezy.laughing and I'm here to do the end of year book tag, and I am genuinely probably the last person on BookTube to do this. I meant to do it about 4 weeks ago and then things happened and I just didn't film anything, and I'm doing it now with only like 3 weeks left of the year. But hey, we'll just do it anyway. So this was originally created by Ariel over at Ariel Bassett. I'm sure everyone knows who Ariel is. I will leave her link down below if you don't. But yeah, I'll go straight on into these questions because there's only a few of them. So the questions are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Generally, I only will read a couple of books at the same time. You guys know this. So the only books I actually have started that I need to finish are the books I'm just currently reading at the moment, like actively reading, and that is Gladiatrix by Russell Whitfield. That's what I'm reading at the moment. And by the time this video is up, I will probably be finished it because I am 3/4 of the way through, so I only have this bit left. I'm going to try and get another chunk of this read tonight and I'll probably finish this tomorrow, so that is what I have to read. And then the audiobook I'm currently reading at the moment is The Golden Tower by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and I have an hour and a half left of that, so I'm hoping to finish that tomorrow as well, all going well. And then the other thing that I have here is not really, I've kind of started it. I have the Modern Fairy Tales here by Holly Black. So I read Tith, I still don't know how to say that, by Holly Black a few weeks ago. I would have reviewed it on the channel. If you were a regular subscriber, you know that. So I reviewed that a couple of weeks ago and I had the singular book of that, but there's actually a trilogy, but you can actually get a kind of compendium of like the 3 of them together. So I've actually, because I wanted to read the next book, which is Valiant, I got the Modern Fairy Tales, which is the 3 of them together, from my library on my phone. So I do have that book as the 3 of them together on my phone, so technically I have started that because I've read the first book in that, and I need to read the next 2, so that's I've kind of started it. It's kind of like a half answer to that question. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I am not really a huge mood reader. I'm very good at just reading anything that I pick up. It's very rarely am I a mood reader. Sometimes I am, but it's rare. So I find like I don't really need like particular books. Like I do generally will be drawn more towards contemporary in the summer, but that doesn't necessarily mean I only read contemporary in the summer. I don't only read fantasy in the winter. I do read fantasy during the summer as well. But I do find that things like Thrillerathon and Tome Topple are both readathons that have happened in the last couple of months that have been really helpful, I think, in terms of getting to those kind of darker, spookier reads. Like Thrillerathon happened in September, I think, the end of August, September. I think that's actually a really good time for Thrillerathon because you are getting into the kind of like the shorter days and longer nights, and you might be feeling a little bit like spooky, so you want to read something spooky or something that will leave you a little bit on edge, and I think that's a really good one to do that. And then Tome Topple, again, longer books, generally fantasy, so I think that's a good one too. So that is my answer for that one. I don't have a particular book, but I just do think those readathons fit really well for this type of time of year. The third question is there a new release you're still waiting for? I can't think of any new releases that haven't come out quite yet. I'm pretty bad at like remembering when books are coming out or even being aware of books coming out. I've been really bad at that lately and I just haven't been paying attention. So there is a release that came out a few weeks ago which I haven't picked up, I haven't bought or anything. I actually haven't bought any new releases lately. The last one I got was Queen of Nothing, and I had a book voucher, so I ended up getting that for free, so it was great. But I haven't actually bought new releases in a really long time, I think. So the one that I would like to get, if I see it and if I have the monies, would be The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, because I love The Night Circus. I love her writing, and The Starless Sea just sounds really, really good. It kind of sounds a little bit like The Never Ending Story in terms of like the character finding themselves reading a book about themselves. Like that's kind of what happened in The Never Ending Story, but that really excites me. Like I love that. So yeah, I'm excited to finally read that when I get my hands on it. Then the next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? There are some books I have here. I have 2 here. I don't think I'm gonna read these by the end of the year. I would like to, but I'm not very hopeful for myself, to be honest. One here is a chunker, and that is Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. Okay, I bought this, I think I've said this before in a video, I bought this the day this came out. Like I messaged my bookshop, I asked them if they had it in stock, they were like, yeah sure, we'll like leave a copy behind the counter if you want to come up. I like raced up on my tiny little legs, got this on my lunch break, brought it home, and I still haven't read it. and it's almost a year later. That was in January. It's been almost a year since I got this on release day and I still haven't read it. It's like mocking me. Like, it mocks me now. And I'm hoping maybe I'll get it done. I'm thinking I might read this over Christmas. I'm going to have a couple of weeks like in the house, and I think I'm going to try and read this over Christmas. That is the mission I will set myself, the challenge, and I'll see if I get this read for January 1st. We will see. Can I do it? Comment if you think I can do it. Then the other book I have here is one I'm actually really excited for, and I asked the publisher for like a proof copy of this to review, and they very kindly sent it to me, and that is Queen of Coin and Whispers by Helen Corcoran, who's an Irish writer. This is a new kind of FF fantasy, so like female relationship, really cool. Like I think it's like a queen who inherits this bankrupt kingdom, and then a spy master into the fold who takes the job to avenge her murdered father. So there's a lot of like stuff going on. There's going to be treason, there's going to be like corruption, there's going to be love. Like, it sounds really good, and what I've heard from people who have read this before, who have read this already, have really loved this, and I have very high hopes for this. I think I'm going to really enjoy it, and I think it's one of those ones, like the writing isn't too big in this as well, so I think once I read this I will fly through it. It's not out till April, so I do have loads time to read this, but I definitely want to get it read either before January or in January, because I would love to have this to recommend during the Irish Readathon, which happens in March. Next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favourite book of the year? I don't know. I don't really know what I'm planning to read for the next few weeks. I kind of have like a vague idea, but I don't have it properly down. I have a couple of Christmassy reads that I have from NetGalley. Honestly, I have no idea. It could be anything. I'm trying to read a couple of books that I picked from my TBR jar ages ago that I still haven't read, so I'm doing a couple of them this week. Gladiatrix is one. The next book I'm going to read after that is another one from my TBR jar. Like, they could potentially really shock me and become favourite books of the year. I kind of don't think they will, but who knows, like, they could. So they're the only kind of potentials there that could really shock me and become my favourite book of the year. The next question, which is the last question, is have you already started making reading plans for 2020? Other than read those books before 2020 or early on in 2020, I don't have proper reading plans. I do want to reread. I want to try and prioritise rereading next year, because I am just in the mood to reread loads of my favourite books, because I've been really neglecting my favourite books. I used to reread all the time. Like, every year, kind of religiously, I would reread a lot of my favourite trilogies and series, and I haven't done that in a few years, particularly since joining BookTube and just reading loads and loads of new releases. I've become really bad at rereading my favourites, and I need to show the love again to them, and let them know that I still care about them and I still love them. So I'm going to do that, and then I also I've kind of mentioned it before, I want to write next year. I want to properly write. I said this last year and I didn't. And it's just really annoying when I keep telling myself to try and write and I just haven't been doing it. So I'm going to try and write more next year, which means not setting myself as big a Goodreads challenge like I did this year, because that's what I did this year. And then I have just told myself, like, no, like, I have to hit my Goodreads challenge, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, I know I can change it, but I don't want to. I want to hit it, and next year, once I have it set down for lower, it'll be fine and I don't have to worry about it so much. But yes, so read a little bit less and write a little bit more next year, and then reread more as well. That is everything to do with this tag. Please let me know what you guys think down below. Are there any books that you think could shock you this year? What do you want to read by the end of the year? What's your favourite summer, autumn transition books or autumn winter transition books? I would love to know. Please leave a comment and let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.